Tom Petty was born on October 20th, 1950, in Gainesville, Florida. Growing up in a small, working-class town, Petty wasn't destined for fame. Yet, from a young age, music called to him like a beacon. His early life was tough. His father was abusive, and young Tom took refuge in music. At age 10, Petty met Elvis Presley on the set of a local film shoot. That moment sparked something unshakable. By 1964, seeing the Beatles confirmed his dream. The way they owned the stage, their freedom, and their unity was exactly what he wanted. Petty picked up a guitar and never looked back. He was going to be a rock star, whatever it took. With a passion that never quit, Tom formed his first band, the Epics, which later became known as Mudcrutch. Gainesville might not have been a music capital, but Tom didn't care. With his friends, he played relentlessly, honing his craft, developing his signature sound, and building a reputation around town. But Petty had bigger dreams. He wanted to hit the road and take on the world. In 1974, Mudcrutch packed up and left Gainesville, heading west to Los Angeles. They didn't have much, just their instruments and a dream. But in LA, the reality was harsh. Mudcrutch struggled to get attention, and eventually the band dissolved. Yet out of the ashes of Mudcrutch came something new, something special. It was here, with Campbell, Tench, Stan Lynch, and Ron Blair, that Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers came to life. The chemistry was instant, the sound unmistakable. They released their self-titled debut album in 1976. Songs like Breakdown and American Girl hit the airwaves, blending rock, punk, and the rebellious spirit of the South. The album wasn't an immediate hit in the US, but in England, it soared. British audiences were drawn to Petty's raw, defiant style. The success in the UK spread back home, and soon, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers were household names. Despite his rising fame, Petty quickly realized the dark side of the music industry. When his record label was sold to NCA, he found himself treated as just another asset. Determined to maintain control over his music, Petty went to war with NCA. He refused to release any new music until he had fair terms, a risky move that few artists dared. Petty's fight paid off. His resilience won him new terms and set a precedent. It was a defining moment in his career, showing his fans and the industry that he wasn't just a rock star, he was a fighter. In 1979, he released Damn the Torpedoes, an album that spoke to his struggles and triumphs. The album was a smash hit. Tracks like Refugee and Here Comes My Girl became anthems, cementing Petty's place in rock history. His fans loved him not just for his music, but for his integrity, his unwillingness to back down. Behind the scenes, the pressure took a toll on Petty's personal life. Fame was isolating, and the demands of the road were grueling. His marriage to Jane Benyo, whom he had married young, began to fray. Petty's world was chaotic, and for a while, he felt lost. Yet, in his darkest hours, Petty found solace in music. In 1985, he released Southern Accents, an album that wrestled with his southern roots and complex identity. It was during this time that Petty's friendship with George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison, and Jeff Lynne led to the formation of the Traveling Wilburys. In 1989, Petty took a leap of faith and released Full Moon Fever as a solo project. The album was a phenomenon. Songs like Free Fallin, I Won't Back Down, and Running Down a Dream became cultural touchstones. They captured Petty's philosophy, a mix of resilience, freedom, and unbreakable spirit. As the years went by, Petty continued to tour, record, and speak out on issues close to his heart. His commitment to artistic freedom, his disdain for commercialism, and his enduring love for his craft made him a symbol of integrity in rock. With each album, from Wildflowers to Echo, he revealed new layers of himself, deeper reflections, and raw honesty. In 2002, Petty was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was a milestone that recognized not just his music, but his impact on American culture. His songs were not just about life, they were about living with purpose, passion, and defiance. In 2017, Petty embarked on what would be his final tour. He was determined, driven to give fans his best, even as he struggled with health issues. But just a week after the tour's end, tragedy struck. On October 2nd, 2017, Tom Petty passed away from an accidental overdose. He was 66.